Hello, Bajo. This is Biobotany class by Mini. So our last topic was Agaricus, general character of Agaricus. Today I'm gonna teach you the reproduction in Agaricus. Agaricus reproduce by the vegetative reproduction, sexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. If we talk about the reproduction, तो vegetative reproduction we understand as sexual reproduction. Okay, ठीक है. Sexual reproduction which is germinating by the single parent, single plant body, and the sexual reproduction why it is producing, there is no sex organ is still showing that. So let's discuss about the three kinds of reproduction. The first one is vegetative reproduction. The mainly edible mushrooms are propagated by the vegetative reproduction. The second is small pieces of dicharitic mycelium used as a inoculum. पता ही है आपको, जैसे आप कलम कहते हो. The next point is organic manure rich soil dicharitic mycelium formed basidiocarp. Organic rich manure soil formed dicharitic mycelium. Dicharitic mycelium formed basidiocarp or fruiting body. And the number 2 is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction take place by the chlamydospores. It is actually formed by the two process, by the chlamydospores and the oidia. In some species oidia are also formed. So chlamydospores are also responsible for asexual reproduction. Oidia is also responsible for asexual reproduction. Chlamydospore develop in terminal or intercanary position and they formed basidiocarp, or in oidia it's formed by the dicaryotization which formed basidiocarp. In both methods apply on the asexual reproduction. The next is sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, mostly species of Agaricus are heterothallic, but Agaricus biospirus is the only species which are homothallic. So it means they are showing the heterothallic character, but there is no sex organ, but have a positive and negative strand, which is showing that Agaricus shows sexual reproduction. The next point is somatogamy in between two different strands and form basidiocarp or fruiting body. Those students who attend our last class of Agaricus, they know what is fruiting body and basidiocarp. So in the process of somatogamy, it means this happen in between positive and negative strands, and which basidiocarp formed. Somatogamy take place in the opposite strands. How it happened? So see, there is two monokaryotic hyphae, the positive and negative hyphae, and the positive negative, first these hyphae fuse together. After fusing, they join their nuclei. The first is primary nuclei. There is a single nuclei in a monokaryotic hyphae. There is two nuclei in a single cell, and the single cell start dividing. After dividing, what they show, we define the dark one is A and the hollow one is B. So after dividing the nuclei, the cell also start splitting. After splitting, they form the two different cells, and then what happened in somatogamy? After splitting the two cell nuclei, the cell starts dividing like this, and when the cell start dividing, the nuclei also divide in two parts. See, that one is A and B. A and B. First the nuclei splitting, then nuclei divide. After nuclear division, the cell start dividing and they finally formed dicharitic mycelium. Dicharitic mycelium. This is the method which the formation of dicharitic hyphae by clamp connection. Formation of dicharitic hyphae by clamp connection. After plasmogamy, the karyogamy processes start. In the karyogamy, dichoritic nuclei fuse and formed diploid nuclei. In the last page, you see there is the mycelium which form the dichoritic mycelium which have the diploid nuclei. There is two kind of nuclei, so that is the diploid nucleus. And the karyogamy take place in young basidium. Young basidium is the stage which formed before the basidiocarp. And the next process is meiosis. Soon after the karyogamy, the meiosis starts, and basidiospores formed in basidium are haploid. The first condition was diploid. In the process of meiosis, the basidiospores will be haploid. The next point is development of, so basically there is sexual reproduction divided into three parts. The first one is plasmogamy, the second one is karyogamy, and the third one is meiosis. In the plasmogamy, what happens? The two different kind of mycelium, yani कि two different kind of monochromatic hyphae fuse and become dichromatic mycelium. In karyogamy, diploid nucleus formed. In meiosis, after karyogamy, basidiospore, the haploid basidiospores formed. And the next topic is development of basidiocarp. इसको हम I'll teach you with the help of diagram. So in development of basidiocarp, secondary mycelium take nutrition from the soil and which formed fruiting bodies or basidiocarp. Now see this diagram. Basidiocarp developed from the underground of the soil. There is wide knot-like structures which is hyphae knot which formed basidiocarp, and this stage is called button stage. This underground stage is called button stage which have hyphae nodes. In the button stage, basidiocarp divide into two parts, and there is two parts. The first one is basal bulbous part and the second one is apical hemisphere region part. Basal bulbous part is formed stipe and the apical hemisphere region is called pilus. This one is pilus. And some hyphae stipes and piles, some hyphae of stipes and pilus which formed ring-like chambers which is called prelaminary chamber. Prelamellar chamber, prelamellar chamber. Inner surface of prelaminar chamber there is a radial band. This one is radial band and it's called gills. Under the gills there is a membrane formed which is called velum. Gills and velum. Under the gills velum is formed. Velum, pilus and stipes are connected to each other and form a stalk in a elongation. And at the stage of button stage, the soil it comes out from the soil and upper hemisphere region formed a umbrella like structure. And this part is called complete mature pilus. This one is, it is young stem. This one is young stem. And this one is complete mature pilus. In the dry season, when the soil dry, there is no kind of growth. When the rainy season start, the button stage start division and it grows. It start growing. That's why agaricus grown in rainy seasons. Which it means it is mainly seen in the rainy season, not in the dry season, because in the dry season there is not showing any kind of growth. Only in the rainy season. Why it is shown in the rainy season? Because its nature is to grow in a moist places.